Greetings. My name is Murtaza Haider and I'm a professor at Ted Rogers School of Management at Ryerson University. Today I'm test driving the new release of Stata, the Stata 16. I recently obtained the software and in particular I'm going to test the new features in the do file editor. There have been some improvements to the editor. People have been asking for some features and I think they're there. What I will do is try to demonstrate the simplest possible examples of how the enhancements work and perhaps suggest some new improvements that I think could benefit the software, especially the do file editor, even more. So here it goes. I have Stata 16, the new version multiple core, open here. What I will use is a existing file, so I say example datasets, and from the example datasets, let's just work with the famous auto data. So say use, the dataset should now be available, and it is. You could see the variables, make of the vehicle, the price, and so on and so forth. So what we will do is we will launch the do file editor by clicking right here. I've got the do file editor open. The first thing I would do is to say summarize the dataset. So I type summer and it shows summarize. I say enter and the command is completed. That's the autofill part of it, and I execute this command, and you could see that I have the output with the summary of all my variables. So the next step for us is to, let's say, run a regression model. So I type reg for regress, and you could see that the first option is reg3, which is a simultaneous estimation of regression. That's a 3-stage regression perhaps, but that's not what we want. What we want is a simple regression. So I will go one step down by down arrow and I click regress, and then I say, let's say price is a function of miles per gallon and headroom. So notice that as I'm typing the variable names, the software is not auto-completing the names. So I think the variable names are not known to the software. I think the autocomplete should also include variable names so that when you type part of the variable name, it gives you the options as to what those variable names are. I would like to store the results of this model in a specific model name so that I could compare the outputs from two models side by side, and the command to use is estimate store. So I type estimate and see that it's not there directly. I have to scroll down and there's the option estimates store, but see what happens when I try to complete it. I say estimates. Okay, got it. Now when I take a space and put store here, it doesn't recognize that I'm in the process of completing a command, and the logical thing here should be store or all those command options that come after estimates. So here I have to type store rather than summarize. So I say estimate store, let's call it auto model 1 and _1. So let's just run it, store it, and that's done. And then I run another regression model, and this time I say regress, and then now I say price, and look what happens when I say P. I believe what the software is doing is it recognizes that there is a price command or an entity exists, so it just autofills it. Price is a function of miles per gallon. I typed M and it auto-completed it, and now say headroom and it auto-completes headroom, and then I add length and gear ratio, two additional variables, length, but notice that I have to type these. So I say gear _ ratio, and this should be complete the trick. I say estimates, again estimate store. Now it recognizes store, but it shouldn't be automatic, and now I call it auto model 2, and because auto model 1 existed, I can use that to complete it and then change it, and then I go down and I say estimate table, and then again and I type table. It recognizes there's a thing called estimates table, and then auto model 1 and auto model 2, comma, I want the asterisk, so I say star, but there's no completion of star, it doesn't recognize star. And then stats, I want to demonstrate some stats, so I say stats. Now I always wonder what's the abbreviation for adjusted R square. If I type R, it should tell me that, you can say R2_A for adjusted R square. And then I run these 3 commands, highlight them, Control D, and my output is there. So excellent, it has the N and the adjusted R squared. This is exactly what I want. So a little bit of tweaks still needed, but again, a much preferred development and improvement to Stata 16. And I hope this video is helpful for your needs. Thank you.